and this is what people with Hashimoto's don't do well, and that's convert T4 to T3. So T4 is the inactive form of the thyroid hormone, and our cells have receptors, as you mentioned, for the thyroid hormone, but it's specifically T3, correct, which is the active form of the thyroid that controls things like your metabolism, all the things you just mentioned, um, body temperature, heart rate, all of those things. But let's talk about what that process looks like in the body, because I've had some other guests compare that to, a really difficult marathon. It's a difficult process for the body, and maybe talk about how that works and why these things interfere with it, and why people may need also T3 as a
So
supplement.
7% of your thyroid gland produces T3. 97% is T4. So that's the majority of the thyroid hormone produced by your thyroid gland in your neck is T4. But T4 is biologically inert. It's inactive. It doesn't do much. So the body tries to reattach this. Now, T4 is named because it has four iodines attached to it. T3 is named because it has three iodines attached to it. I know it's rocket science, right? But what the body does is it tries to convert T4 into T3 by clipping off an iodine molecule. And it does this in one of two places. The first place is the liver. So the T4 goes into the liver. It's treated by an enzyme in the liver. Uh, I I could tell you what the name is, but I don't think you'd care much. Okay, it's five
So we need to, I
prime
mean, you can tell us, but I think people just need to understand just
it's
how,
five prime
what,
deadenase. But anyway,
oh, yes. Okay.
uh, 60% of T4 instantly becomes C3 in the liver.
Okay.
20% becomes reverse T3, which is waste,
Right.
just gets thrown away, and 20% becomes T3 sulfate and T3 acetyl sulfate, and that chemical then goes into your gut, where it's treated by bacteria and hydrogen peroxide, and then it becomes T3 in your gut. So your body is able to recapture 60% of T4 into T3 first in your liver, and then another 20% of it is converted into T3 in your gut.
Okay.
So in order for this mechanism to work right, you have to have a healthy brain because everything starts in the brain. You have to have a healthy thyroid gland. You have to have a healthy liver,
Yes.
and you have to have a healthy gut. But the story doesn't stop there. The body tries to take thyroid hormone and deliver it right to your cells to be used as to energize the cells. And most thyroid hormone is kind of lazy. It doesn't want to just go about by itself. It wants a
Yeah.
ride. And so the ride
Uh,
is being done through a carrier protein, and that carrier protein convert takes the thyroid all the way to your to your cells where it gets dropped off and it does its job. When the thyroid hormone is not bound to that carrier protein, that's called free. So if you have free T4 that is not bound by the carrier proteins, and the same thing with free T3. The majority of it, like 98% of it is bound to the proteins, but it is not bound. If it's not bound, it's free. So how does this relate to what you were talking about before? The carrier protein is regulated primarily by your estrogens in your body. So if you are consuming a lot of cosmetics and a lot of types of things that women and gals use all the time, that is going to cause a spike in your estrogen levels, and you're not going to be able to bind thyroid hormone to that. And that's picked up by a test that I run called a T3 uptake test. T3 uptake test will tell you how well your body is able to transmit bound thyroid hormone to your cells, and it's usually disrupted by excessive estrogens.